throne. Discovery soars without a care, till any top pulls the court's rough glare. Dribble the fight, don't stall the way. Playoffs calling this ain't child's play. Blissy stands strong, melodic glides. Traffic dreams where the beasts collide. He roots schemes behind his wall. Pokey fumbles, takes the fall. Spikes and stones thrown in the clash. Glory chasing amidst the ash. Dribble the fight, don't stall the way. Playoffs calling this ain't child's play. Blissy stands strong, melodic glides. Traveling dreams where the beasts collide. Low into the hardwood grind. Dreams of champions etched in mind. Spikes and stones thrown in the clash. Glory chasing amidst the ash. Dribble the fight, don't stall the way. Playoffs calling this ain't child's play. Blissy stands strong, melodic glides. Traveling dreams where the beasts collide. Dribble the fight, don't stall the way. Playoffs calling this ain't child's play. Blissy stands strong, melodic glides. Traveling dreams where the beasts collide.
You just heard the second hit single by the Reggie Rocks. Playoffs ain't child's play. You can pick this up in stores as soon as tonight after this stream. So congratulations and shout outs to the Reggie Rocks on another banger of a track. Another banger. Let's get things started. Welcome everybody to the Season 7 PBA Awards Show. Thanks for being here. All season, our trainers and players work their butts off to impress us, to make playoffs, and to do good by their franchises. Tonight's the night where we get to celebrate everybody and all their hard work. Everything they do to make the PBA special, let's celebrate that. So thank you, the audience, and thank you, the players who are here with us tonight. Thank you so much. Without you, it wouldn't be possible. So thank you so much for being here. Now, of course, before we talk about that, I think it's important that we take a moment to recognize the legacy of the PBA as well, and talk about the PBA Ring of Honor. In our previous PBA Ring of Honor ceremony, we gave a shout out to the Saguaro Sudowoodo and the Seattle Scizor, adding Ditto and Togekiss to the Ring of Honor. Congratulations again for them making it into the Ring of Honor, of course. Go ahead, applause. And a big shout out to every other member of the PBA Ring of Honor. Your legacy will not be forgotten. But let's take a moment and acknowledge the original 8. The original 8 franchises and everything that they did to help make the PBA possible in the first place. I wanted to take a moment to hear Ferris whine in the background. And ask the question, where are these 8 now? How is their legacy living on? Let's take a look. congratulations once again to these 8 prolific PBA champions. Their legacy will not be forgotten, and I'm certain this is not the last we've heard from most of them. Congrats once again to these PBA legends. But enough about the past, let's talk about the now. Let's talk about some of the amazing gameplay we've seen in Season 7. But before we even do that, let's give a huge shout outs to Brad. Many of these categories would not be possible this season without Brad. Thanks to Brad, we have some incredible stats to go with. He had an incredible kind of code that he put together, helped us put replays in and spit out offensive and defensive stats for each Pokemon. So huge shout outs to Brad. Thank you for all your contributions to make this league so much more special this season. Starting things off, let's talk about the Usually Useless Award. This award highlights Pokemon and Pokemon movesets that typically wouldn't see play in competitive, that saw some limelight in this season. Arcanine with Howl from the Morana Kabutops, Alakazam with no attacking moves from the Tucson Toros, Quillfish with Spikes, T-Wave, and Destiny Bond from the Stanton Sableye, and Moltres using Scope Lens and Sky Attack. Congratulations to these amazing 4 Pokemon and being nominated for the Usually Useless Award. And here is your nominee and your winner for the Usually Useless Award. It goes to Moltres from the Athenian Absols. Congratulations to Moltres and Finn, the coach of all these usually useless Pokemon. The Moltres actually saw some success. Fishing some crits with Sky Attack actually proved helpful, allowed Moltres to do some serious damage against walls such as Blissey, so that was actually really impressive to see. So congratulations to Finn and that amazing Moltres gaming that we saw this season. Congrats. Good stuff. Up next is the Offensive Player of the Season. Now, of course, if I was speaking about the Offensive Player of the Season, that would no doubt go to Pokey. When asked before the season, or before the award show, if he had any thoughts to share, Pokey said, "If I can do the most damage across the entire league and still go 0-7, then you can win a championship. Rest in peace, Gura." But didn't you actually go 0-8, Pokey? Yeah. These are true words. Thank you, Pokey. Thank you. So here are your nominees for the Offensive Player of the Season. Medicham from the Athenian Absols, Aerodactyl from the Morana Kabutops, Salamence from the South Tucson Typhlosion, and Snorlax from the Bean Boy Blue Platypunks. Congrats to these amazing 4 offensive Pokemon.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
And a huge shout out to Brad once again for letting these stats be possible. So, of course, Medicham with an incredible season. 31 KOs, 2.38 KOs per game. Anytime this Pokemon was featured, it was doing serious damage. Aerodactyl not too far behind, 24 KOs, 1.84 KOs per game, so similar stats, close to 2 KOs per game. Very good revenge killer. Pokey nominated Salamence and only had 1 KO this entire season, but people still voted for it. Isn't that something? And then Bean Boy Snorlax with 26 KOs as well. A really good curse sweeper. Very good, very good. So congrats to these 4 Pokemon, these offensive Pokemon. Here's your Offensive Player of the Season. Let's see. Medicham from the Athenian Absols. it's hard to compete with stats like that. I mean, this was a well-deserved win for Metacham. I mean, the votes spoke for themselves with a huge landslide of votes for Metacham. Congratulations to Finn. This Metacham has been a problem all season between Substitute, Focus Punch, Brick Break, and just overall just some crazy clicks. Shadow Ball taking out ghost types, kind of surprising people. It's been a very powerful threat this season, so congrats to Finn, and congrats to Metacham. Been very exciting to watch him use this Pokemon. Next is the best art. Now, we can't talk about the best art without giving a shout out to Sigmund, who made this category possible. Thank you, Sigmund. Thank you for letting your artistic creativity show in the Discord. You have inspired others to create a lot of really cool art. Let's take a look at some of this really cool art from this season. And we have 5. We have Big Man Loading from Jenna. Freaky Magnemite from a kid that I teach. Sigmund's Money Scheme by Sigmund. I think that's supposed to be Misty. Davy Does Reporting by Campbell. And Master Clayway by Sigmund. Look at all this amazing art.
Wow, wow, wow.
Very cool, right? And the winner for Best Art of Season 7 is... Davy Does Reporting by Campbell.
Congratulations!
Congratulations. I mean, it's a tough competition, right? When you have Campbell, who's a professional artist in the Discord, now submitting art, it's tough to compete with, right? So congratulations to Campbell. Congrats to all the other awesome art that we've seen. I also was kind of biased. I like this art a lot. I've been working really hard to commentate all the matches. And clearly Campbell's been enjoying it, and so this art made me very happy when I saw it. So congratulations once again. This was awesome. Up next is the Defensive Player of the Season, an award that's pretty close to my heart. Offensive players are, of course, very important, but the defensive backbone can be just as important depending on the matchup. Here are your Defensive Players of the Season, your top nominees. Melodic from the Eastern Shore Spectres, Snorlax from the Seattle Scizor, Blissey from the Atlanta Altaria, and Blissey again from the Athenian Absols. Congratulations to the Defensive Player of the Season. These 4 nominees for Defensive Player of the Season. Yeah, and frankly, I'm a little surprised that Skarmory didn't make it here, but without Skarmory, I mean, these 3 Pokemon still make sense. I'm saying 3 because there's 2 Blissies. Let's see who our Defensive Player of the Season is. Let me check the envelope. The winner is Melodic from the Eastern Shore Spectres.
Congratulations!
Congrats to Dante for a really, really strong opening season with us here in the PBA, and his Melodic really shined. The best defensive Pokemon as voted for by the players. Just a really strong showing. 3,669 damage taken, over 305 damage taken per game, and over 366 damage taken per death. This Melodic was tough to deal with, and actually did a really good job kind of counterwalling certain Pokemon like Blissey with moves like Refresh and throwing out Toxic. This thing was a menace. So congrats to Dante, and congrats to Melodic. Good stuff. Next is the best meme of the season. All season, people submit very funny memes. They're totally funny, guys, we swear, throughout the Discord. And these were the top 4 memes as voted on by the players. Here we go. The Bean Boy Blue Platypunks roster. Arcanine with Howl being good. We swear, guys. We swear. Jesus commenting on our YouTube videos. And me when Iron says he's running balance. These are the best memes of the season. And here is your best meme of Season 7. The Platypunks roster, created by Pokey. Shoutouts to Pokey. He's a buster, but sometimes, you know, he can be kind of funny. Congrats to Pokey on this meme. It came out at just the right time. All of Bean's Pokemon are nicknamed random Bleach things. Half of them I don't even think are real Bleach things. He just, you know, uses Bleach buzzwords. And then he has Claydol, which doesn't have a nickname for some reason, so it's pretty funny. Shoutouts to Pokey and this meme for winning best meme of the season. Very good. Next is the best Game 3 set. We went to Game 3 quite a bit, especially early on in the season. Here are the 4 tightest sets that you guys voted on. Atlanta versus Eastern Shore in Week 7. Marana versus the Platypunks in Week 1. Marana versus South Tucson in Week 8. And the Athenian Absols versus Atlanta in Week 5. These were your 4 voted on tightest Game 3 sets. I do want to put in a shameless plug. You can actually watch all of these sets, all of these replays with commentary now on YouTube this season. So if you're curious with how good these sets really were, and I can tell you they were some juicy sets, you can check that out, most likely attached to the playlist that this award show will be attached to. So yeah, be sure to check out really all the sets this season. Were really fun to watch. So give them some credit, give them some attention. Trainers worked really hard to put on a show for us this season. They did not disappoint. Here is the best Game 3 set of the season. And it was a tie! Between the Atlanta Eastern Shore matchup in Week 7 and the Athenian versus Platypunks in Week 4 for 2 very different reasons. One was a very defensive, long set, and one was a really solid, just kind of competitive, physical, offensive set that we got to watch. So both these sets really interesting for their own ways, but this was actually a tie on voting, so congrats to both of these. Congrats to both of these sets. I do want to point out, in Week 1 alone, all but one match went to Game 3. In Week 1 alone, all but one match went to Game 3. It was a lot. There was a lot of Game 3 going on. I think we had 18 Game 3s in total by the end of the regular season, which technically isn't actually our record. I checked last season. We had like 20-something last season. But even so, early on in this season, we had a lot of Game 3s. So congrats. Next up is Coach of the Season. Yeah, players will get stats, but who's telling those players what to do? Well, it's the coaches, of course. Let's see your top 4 coaches of the season. We have Finn from the Athenian Absols, Bean from the Bean Boy Blue Platypunks, Dante from the Eastern Shore Spectres, and Barry from the Fiji Ferrets. Finn, who's had another incredible season. I mean, you can see alone just by how many awards he's already won tonight, with a 7-1 record. Bean, proving that he has that dog in him. He's 3-5 and he's in playoffs. Alright, dogs, stop! Thank you. He's 3-5 and he's in playoffs. Dante, his first ever season with us, and putting up a really good fight against some really veteran trainers, making a really good first impression. And Barry, of course, who's 8-0 again. You can't undermine that. You can't neglect the fact that Barry is 8-0 going into playoffs as the #1 seed. That has to be appreciated, right? But the people voted. Here is your coach of the season. Finn from the Athenian Absols.
Congratulations!
Congrats to Finn. He's had an incredible season. I think the only loss he's taken was against Atlanta, who he has a chance of actually meeting again in playoffs, depending on if they both get past round 1, so that could be exciting. Congrats to Finn on winning Coach of the Season. Next is the best nickname. The best nickname. This season I challenged trainers, coaches, and staff alike to come up with the best nicknames for their Pokemon as they battled. Here were the top 4 nicknames that you all voted for. Haha Hi Raikou, the Claydol. Bleach, the Suicune. International Women's Day, the Blaziken. And Zap Quattro, the Zapdos. Shout out to these 4 incredible nicknames. Here is the best nickname of Season 7. International Women's Day, the Blaziken. Yeah, that was a pretty good nickname. For those of you who didn't know, we drafted the night of International Women's Day, and it just happened to be a funny kind of theme. A lot of people tried to choose mischievous and female-ish Pokemon, and then Week 1, Vinny's Blaziken tore up Seattle, so it was named International Women's Day, and it left a pretty impressionable mark. So congratulations to Vinny on winning the best nickname. Very good. And next, certainly not least, is the Most Valuable Player Award. All season, trainers have worked their butts off to make it teams. Hello, and we asked those 8 playoff teams to nominate a Pokemon as their MVP. Here are your MVP nominees for Season 7. From the Fiji Furrets, Snorlax. From the Athenian Absols, Medicham. From the Atlanta Altaria, it's Blissey. From the Stant Sableye, Dragonite. From UCF, it's Gengar. From the Brontokabutops, it's Doug Trio. From the Saguaro Sudowoodo, it's Moltres. And last and certainly not least, from the Beanboy Blue Platypunks, it's Snorlax with a hat! Congratulations to these 8 incredible Pokemon and all they've done to serve their teams this season. But before we name the league MVP, let's talk about the 2 conferences, the Indigo and Advanced League. Your MVPs from both sides are Medicham and Snorlax. Congratulations to Finn and his Medicham, and congratulations to Barry and his Snorlax. Both have had incredible seasons, Barry with the Curslax and Finn with the Medicham. We've already talked about the Medicham, how much damage it's been doing, choice band or not. And all the KOs it's getting. Snorlax not too far behind as well. But there can only be one most valuable player in the entire league. Let's take a look at who won MVP for the entire season. Your MVP is Medicham! Don't ask where I have to go to find this art. Congratulations to Finn, his Medicham, and the Athenian Absols. They have truly had an incredible season, and members of the league agree. The votes don't lie. People loved watching Finn play this season. He came out with so many awards. So congratulations to Finn, congratulations to Medicham and the impression it's left on us this season. The bruises that we felt and broken bones. And good luck to playoffs for the Athenian Absols. And of course, before we close things off, we do have to talk about next season's format. you had the option in our Google form to vote. For next season's format, you had the options between Gen 4 OU, Super Mario Mon, and Generation 9 Rarely Used. Let's take a look at what format we have. Churchwig, take it away. That's right. Next season is Gen 4 OU, baby. No, it's not Mario Mon. Are you crazy, Irun? The people have voted, and a majority have chosen Generation 4 OU. So look forward to chronologically jumping up to the next gen. We just played Gen 3 OU. And next on the line is Gen 4 OU. Should be exciting to see how this meta continues to grow and develop. New Pokemon enter the fold, the physical special split arrives, more held items. Should be exciting. And a huge shout out to the Ellicott City Emolgas for joining us next season. We're super excited to see Chuck join us coaching the Ellicott City Emolgas. So Coach Chuck and your Emolgas, we're super happy to have you. Can't wait to see you in the league next season. Of course, that's not everything I have for you tonight because we're in the midst of our spring 2025 playoffs. Before we can say goodbye to Gen 3, we gotta watch some playoff matches, people. And round 1 is already off to an incredible start. In just a few moments after we're done the award ceremony, I'm going to jump into playoff commentary mode, and we're going to watch what I've heard. I haven't seen yet. What I've heard is an exciting match between the Fiji Furrets and the B-Boy Blue Platypus. So stay tuned for that, please. Good luck to all 8 of our playoff teams in playoffs. Should be exciting to see how this bracket develops. And thank you for watching, everybody. Here's to many more seasons in the PBA. Thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you all next time.